Sometimes when people don't know what they're doing, they make a podcast, a strange podcast, where they ramble on and on, relentlessly about stupid subjects like movies, actors, forgetting that there's a whole world of pain and suffering out there. But for now, welcome to Dial M.
Welcome, guys. I'm Eric Harrison from Effin' Ingenious.
I'm Joe Papp from Sparkling Clear Mojo.
You notice how I say effing ingenious? I don't say fucking ingenious too often. I guess because I'm trying to be aware of the younger listeners and viewers out there. But I just said it, so fuck it.
Fuck yeah.
All right, Joe, what are we going to talk about this time?
Well, since we got swearing down here, I think it's time we start talking about, first of all, today we got some big news. Some very big news. Some news that either you're going to really love or, like normal people, you're going to hate with a passion. Ben Affleck has been chosen to play Batman.
Yes, and the internet is throwing a temper tantrum right now. But by the time you're listening to this, it'll probably be old news. But it is current at the time of this recording.
Yes, it's crazy how people are just going insane. The words they're using, I wouldn't repeat, to the filthiest horror I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty typical of the internet. As you've seen on Facebook, as soon as I heard the news, I pretty much just very politely said no, thank you. So I'm not like hateful about it or anything. It doesn't really cause me to lose any sleep at all. But based on his past acting record, I just I'm not sold.
What, you weren't big on Pearl Harbor?
I know, I've never even seen Pearl Harbor.
Oh, you weren't big on Armageddon?
Armageddon? Not really. And it was a big hit back in the day.
Reindeer Games?
Never seen Reindeer Games. See, the only movies I think I've ever seen Ben Affleck would be Kevin Smith movies, and Dazed and Confused. I will admit he was pretty cool in Dazed and Confused because his I don't know, he just seemed to be like a real asshole in that movie.
Well, yeah. No, like, okay, I we've been watching it. There's a huge buzz out there on Twitter, on Facebook. By the way, we are on Twitter. Dial M for Movies is on Twitter. Come and see us, follow us, and we'll do our best to keep you updated. Anyway, now that I plugged us, the thing is that when it comes to this movie, like, everybody's going nuts. They're like, oh no, it's so horrible, it's awful, yada, yada, yada. Jeremy Johns, do you ever watch his reviews?
Sounds familiar.
He's the guy with the red background where he does that whole, he says something, then cut, and then he splices something else in, cut.
No, I've never really watched him, but I'm aware of who he is.
Okay, well, I watch his reviews because sometimes he has an okay review. Anyway, yeah, like I should be the one to talk. He actually does a really good job. But I don't always agree with him, but I was listening to him, and he was talking about this, and this is something that a lot of people didn't even get to, which is Ben Affleck apparently did a good job in Daredevil. I'm not a fan of the movie, so I can't really say that. But they're kind of scared that he would look too similar as Batman, and they'd be thinking, oh, this is Ben Affleck instead of Batman. Like, what do you think about that? Do you think that the Daredevil costume kind of ruined the whole Cape Crusader thing for Ben Affleck?
No, that's not the problem with me. I don't see him as Batman material. It seems like I haven't seen any of his directed movies, but there's been a lot of positive buzz about his direction, so I'm thinking he probably should stick to that. I've never really been a fan of him as an actor. He just never blew me away, really, with anything.
Well, this is where I've kind of come down to this realization. I think this is probably the healthiest way to look at the whole scenario. So if I'm wrong, call me a effing bastard. I did censor myself for proper reasons there. When you take a look at the entire history of Batman movies, you've got 4 excellent films, at least. And it really depends on, who it is talking. But generally you're going to find that most people think that 4 of the films are really good, that the rest are all mediocre to crap. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, agreed. Yep, agreed.
Okay. With that being said, the Christopher Nolan Batman movies are overhyped, in my opinion, for two simple reasons. First of all, Christian Bale does an excellent job in the demeanor. He does an excellent job as Bruce Wayne and Batman. He pulls it off really well. But when they have him talk in the movies, it's like having someone rip my eyelids off of my face.
Yeah.
I actually was so angry at his voice in the second one. And in the parts of the third one that I saw, that I actually chose not to go to theaters to see a third movie. Because I couldn't understand why nobody just stopped and said, you know what? The voice is starting to sound goofy. And
right, yeah. You think by the third one they would have corrected that a little bit.
But then you watch clips from the third one, and it's worse.
Because, like, yelling like that probably damaged his throat, so then it got even worse. I worked at a movie theater when The Dark Knight came out, and we got so many people coming out, because, like, it was packed, you know. Everybody was there to see The Dark Knight, and people just kept coming out saying, I can't understand what Batman's saying. Is something wrong with your sound system? Like, constantly.
Yeah.
And I was the projectionist, so I'm up there messing with dials and trying to make Batman sound decent, and I couldn't do it.
No, because the thing is, the difference between, like, this is the thing. I'm not saying Christian Bale is bad. No, he's good. It's just that voice is not, it's comical, and not in a comic way. It really is a comical kind of voice, because I think College Humor does a really good job of just making fun of it. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen their stuff?
Yeah, I have. And you're right, it is very comical, because it's so fucking over the top.
It really is. And when I saw the bits and pieces of the third movie, I'm sitting here, it's like, tell me where the bomb is, and then you have my permission to die. You know, it's like, wow, this sounds like a 4-year-old kid trying to sound like an adult.
Right.
You know, and nothing against Christian Bale. I love him in most of his movies, with the exception of Terminator Salvation. But, okay, with this being said, you have the Nolan movies, which are basically on a pedestal for at least another 10 years. You also have the realization that Batman and Robin exists.
You mean the movie, or just the characters?
The movie,
okay.
Batman and Robin, exists.
Oh, I know,
and
right?
It was put in the theaters.
Ugh.
I know, because I went to theater to see that movie.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. Did you fucking get a refund, or what?
No, this is kind of a funny story. My cousin and I are going to go see a Batman movie. We love Batman. We're big fans of Michael Keaton. The last movie, it was a little goofy, but you know what? It wasn't so terrible. Val Kilmer's all right. George Clooney couldn't be that bad, right? 5 minutes into the actual film, past all the credits. By the way, movie theaters should never tell you this. You got like 5 minutes to walk out to get a refund or whatever it is, right? 5 minutes? That's the first trailer. Anyway, so here it is. The movie starts 5 minutes into it, and I'm seeing Batman start to skate. And I'm thinking, oh God, dear Lord, please.
I'm pretty sure I haven't even ever watched that movie, because I could just smell the stink on it.
Oh, I was sitting there, I'm thinking my cousin Dan, who's sitting next to me, is liking this movie, because he's not letting me know that he hates this movie. He's not looking at me. He's looking at the screen, so obviously he likes the movie. So I look back at the screen. So we watch this piece of work.
That's one word for it.
And well, that's, yeah, anyway, I come out of the movie, I look at Dan very sheepishly, you know, eyes down at my feet, and I'm just saying, Dan, thank you for paying for this movie.
Oh, shit.
It was crap. And he looks at me, he's like, oh my gosh, I thought you really liked it. That's why I didn't say anything. He wanted to leave the whole time, too.
Oh, shit.
We were sitting here in this movie. It was terrible. We saw Tarzan the day before, the one with the Phil Collins song. It was like, oh, that was actually pretty good for a theater. But then we see this, it's like, oh, well, you know, what are you going to do? You're in the theater. You think your cousin likes it, but he hates it. He hates it, but he's not letting you know.
I think anybody that watched that movie or paid to see that movie gets a free shot at Joel Schumacher's balls. Free kick.
Oh, I don't want to touch them. They're so corroded and disgusting right now. It's not even funny. No. But, like, with the knowledge that that movie exists, and I actually paid. Well, I didn't pay. My cousin paid for me to go to it, and I sat through the whole thing. I could care less if Ben Affleck's in the movie. If they do it right, he won't even say anything.
Won't even take his mask off. We won't even know it's him.
Well, you know, the thing is, Batman doesn't have to talk. All he has to really do is be in the right place with the right gadget and say, "Oh, that's an interesting clue." And then he goes and he does the superheroing. He doesn't have to say anything. So if they do Affleck, great. Just don't have him talk.
Yeah, I guess
done that with Christian Bale.
Christian Bale was kind of a chatty Batman, wasn't he? I don't remember Michael Keaton doing a whole lot of talking in the suit.
He says, "I'm not. You know, tell your friends about me. I'm Batman." Done.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know, and that's the thing. It's just like if Christian Bale didn't talk as much, we wouldn't be making fun of his voice. So, I'm very positive in this case that if Ben Affleck does get chosen, and he most likely won't even make it, they'll probably change it at the last minute because of some kind of scheduling error or some production thing. Don't have him talk, and he'll probably be one of the best Batman characters you'll ever see.
I personally think they should go with somebody lesser known, or maybe completely unknown, because when you cast a star, you bring their baggage in with it. You know, you bring people's perceptions of them in with it. If it's somebody you don't know, it's like a whole fresh take on Batman, and you know, you don't have a preconceived notion about the person to get in the way.
True, but then again, sometimes you get some really good people. Like I'm going to say this right now, I'm actually a fan of Sandra Bullock. And the reason why is because she doesn't always do the typical role. And I kind of like that about her.
I'm pretty indifferent about her, but I did like her in Demolition Man and Speed.
Oh, absolutely. I actually, another bad movie-going experience. Girlfriend, she was 18, I was 17. She had a goth friend, which I always liked. And I'm going to take them to a movie. And it's 20 miles away. It's a $2 theater. It's the only way I could pay for both their tickets and mine and still get us some popcorn. So I'm going to take them out there. And there's a Sandra Bullock movie in there. It was Hope Floats.
Oh, no. Isn't that like a chick flick?
Dude, you do not take a goth chick to Hope Floats.
Oh, shit. You got some bad movie-going experiences, huh?
As I said, the closest theater's 20 miles away. We didn't know any better. It was just something to do. Oh, man. I literally came to this movie hoping that it might be more funny, at least, because at least most romantic movies have a little comedy to them. This movie was like having someone drag a stone over my face over and over again.
Oh.
So, Ben Affleck and Batman. There you go.
Well, that's our 2 cents. I don't want them to be, but it's not a big deal. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably mostly going to be about Superman anyway.
I would hope so. Superman needs to be developed more. Batman's pretty much laid out.
He does. I don't know why. I don't know. I think they're jumping the gun a little bit, bringing Batman in too soon. I think they're just. I think it's a fear response. They kind of like got to this point now in Hollywood where they want to constantly keep franchises going instead of giving them time to rest. Hence, the Amazing Spider-Man. And I think it's a bad idea to. They should give him a few years break. Well, I mean, I guess it's going to be a few years, but.
Well, it's still, you know, the sad thing is that everything is still so fresh in everybody's mind that it's really unfortunate to see.
So there you have it on that topic. We're kind of split, but we're not fighting like Siskel and Ebert.
No, I think if anything, everything we're saying right now, relatively speaking, when you really consider it, how could it be the end of the world when you have such great movies out there already?
Tell us what you guys think about Affleck as Batman, or who you would maybe rather see in the role, or if you would rather see anybody at all. Because personally, I don't think it's necessary just yet. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. And I'm Eric Harrison.
I'm Joe Papp.
Catch you guys next time.
Adios.
Ingenious.